Hey there, and thank you for listening to the Dream Center Peoria podcast. Dream Center Peoria exists to impact families living in poverty, starting with kids and youth. If you want to learn more about what we're up to at the Dream Center, you can find us online at dreamcenterpeoria.org or on social media at Dream Center Peoria. Thanks for listening.
Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Dream Center podcast. My name's Andy, and during this time, we've been just connecting with so many different people from many walks of life who are connected with the Dream Center or connected in one way or another with ministry that we do. And so today, we have an amazing man on the video cast here. His name is Mike Hasselbusch. How are you doing, Mike?
Very good, Andy. Thank you for asking.
Good. Now, just to give a bit of background for people, Mike has been involved with us probably, 3.5 years?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I think it's fair to say that it's because of Mike's passion and vision for seeing students succeed within the trades that what you now see at the Dream Center with having a full-blown jobs, trade, skills program comes from Mike, who is a volunteer and still is a volunteer, sharing that with us and us just blowing wind in that. And so today I thought it would be awesome to just get to know Mike, get to know what he does at the Dream Center, and also how he has influenced so many others to get involved with the Dream Center and what he does. So, Mike, I know our story starts like 3.5 years ago. That's when I first met you. But tell us a bit about even what led you up to getting involved with the Dream Center in the first place, what you've done for a living, and let's just find out a bit about Mike. Is that all right?
Okay. Sure. So I'm retired. I was a chief engineer at Caterpillar. I retired 6 months ago. I started thinking about retirement about 3.5 or 4 years ago, and knew I needed to have something else to do that meant something, because you can't retire and have nothing to do.
Right.
And about that time, I was a pretty avid mountain biker, and I hurt my back, had to quit doing that, and I got pretty bored with my hobby. I started restoring motorcycles in the garage. After I restored 2 of them and had a third one, my wife said, "You need to go teach somewhere. You can't just keep filling the garage with motorcycles." So I came to you with an idea. We started with 1 instructor, 2 students, and a motorcycle to work on. And it's grown pretty nice since then. So, you always hear that quote that when God closes the door, opens a window. He really did here it, because if it wouldn't have been for the bad back, I'd have been mountain biking competitively now today and having a lot of fun. But this is so much better and so much more rewarding. And we just get to work with so many nice young men and young women and great folks to be there. It's a hoot.
And I remember we shot a video with you just about a year or so ago, right? And you mentioned in that video about what you are doing right now with students that come into our after school program.
Right.
It reminded you of how your dad used to do this with you. Can you elaborate on that? Because I know you see the kids each and every time that you're at the Dream Center, and they don't have that role model. So can you just expound on what is driving you with that?
So what we learned as we work with the students is these are good kids. No matter what you hear, the kids, they're good kids. They're in a challenging situation, and they don't always have the role models that we were blessed with when we grew up. So as we've gotten to know them, we've realized they aren't exposed to the things that we got exposed to. So by taking them out to visit machine shops and to visit the motorcycle shops and auto dealerships and getting tours with the owners and out to ICC so they can see what's out there, and we start talking to them about, here's the way you present yourself, here's what you need to do and learn and stay in school because you've got to have good grades. we can offer you a path to a good job and really teach them fundamental skills, not just hands-on skills, but how to become a very a member of society that can contribute. A young man or a young woman growing in to what they have a potential to be in society. And that's what my dad did for me. A lot of good lessons. Some really encouraging, some a little tougher. We do both. But it's a chance to give back at what I was blessed with having growing up. A lot of these kids, it's not their fault. They just don't have that blessing.
And just to let people know about some of the things that we do, you mentioned about the motorbike repair. Tell us a bit about that, and then I'll tell the folks about some of the things that has evolved from that. But just tell us what you do with students every week at the Dream Center.
Okay. We've got about 7 instructors now, and we have about anytime between 5 and 10 motorcycles in the shop. And we do anything from teaching the kids how to change oil, change the filters, change tires, tighten the chains, basic maintenance, to rebuilding a motorcycle, pulling carburetors apart, cleaning them, putting new parts in them to make them run. And then they learn basic mechanical skills. It's not just motorcycles. These are basic mechanical skills they can apply to their car, to an apartment or a house someday, and confidence that they can do something. And all of a sudden, what they did goes from a machine that didn't run, one that does, and have a sense of accomplishment they might not have had a lot of before. That's kind of what we do.
And I know one of the things that we've talked about for years at the Dream Center is a lot of the students that we see start well, but don't finish well.
Right.
They start things, but they never see it through. And with what you're doing, you're taking them through a whole process to see something, whether it's a motorbike running or, as we've seen in the last year or so, motorbikes actually being sold to help the Dream Center because people are donating motorbikes and saying, fix it up, sell it, and keep the ministry going. So I think that's really crucial that people see this isn't just a hobby we're trying to teach kids. This is an actual trade.
Right.
And so a few years back, as you had got going, we were seeing the light bulb going off in kids' brains of, hey, I can do this. This isn't too far from me. And we felt, what if we could do something at the Dream Center that expanded from the motorbikes? And so we started talking where Mike's shop is at the Dream Center was right next to 2 racquetball courts that, to be honest, had just been for storage because racquetball courts, especially racquetball courts that half of them are below ground, which is where they were, are very hard to renovate and very costly. So we started really just sharing the vision with people. And now, Mike, you started talking to some folks at Caterpillar. I don't know if you want to share some of the story on that.
Sure. It's really kind of neat. There's a lot of, I'm an engineer, so there's a lot of engineers at CAT that I know and want to volunteer, but a lot of our skills aren't the soft side. They're more the teaching young people how to fix things or do things. The soft side comes with that by working with them and teaching them, here's how you act and interact with customers and those kind of things. It was amazing the amount of engineers who wanted to come involved. And we started with 1 instructor 3.5 years ago, and now we've got, I think, a total of 25 in the whole. We got 7 just in auto. Just in motorcycle repair, but I think we got 20 or 25 in the whole program. You'd know better than me for the rest. Yeah,
it's
really neat.
It's just snowballed. Because I think what people think, is a lot of people think that what skills they have can't really be used to impact people's lives. And so what we try to do was tap onto the strengths of yourself and then the friends that you have around you and say, hey, you're good at this or that, let's create something. And so we did. We took these racquetball courts and right now we have motorbike repair, that you do. We have a carpentry studio. I just saw just last week. Everything's halted at the minute with the coronavirus, but a shed is pretty much built.
It looks good.
Yeah, and so that someone has purchased this shed that the kids have been building, and so they're building, you know, and you just take that carpentry, you're looking at not just a hobby, but if someone can build a shed, they're basically learning to build a small structure.
Right.
There's roofing, electric, obviously the walls, flooring, everything. And the students are doing that.
Right.
In addition to that, we have how would you word the parts business? What would you call that, Mike?
It's mostly motorcycle parts. And the ones that we can't fix, we sell.
So basically, the guys have created an e-commerce business, on selling parts from motorbikes that we can't sell as a whole, but we can sell parts from them. And I think Caterpillar do something like that, right? They sell parts.
We have a parts business. That is correct.
Yeah. So then that's amazing. When you walk through that, we have a whiteboard on the wall. And we want to always show goals to kids. And I know that area is very, very tangible because they can put a dollar amount.
Right.
You know, the aim to sell $1,500 worth of parts this year, and they've already surpassed that, and they show feedback. And so it's not just the taking something apart, but also the goals initiatives as well that are there. So we got carpentry, we got motorbike repair, we got motorbike parts reselling business. We have a 3D printing side of what we do, which one of the engineers used to work for you, Paul, who is from England. So I'm not the only guy in the building.
Which is unfortunate, but it's okay.
Oh, wow, I think we need to stop the podcast. But in fact, just giving a little addition, you know, we bought the 3D printer, and I get a call from Paul 2 weeks ago. Hey, can we use the Dream Center printer to print face shields for the coronavirus for the doctors? And so I think he's been going 24/7. I think Paul's just been sitting there making these things. And so, you know, but that machine is used during our trade school as well, where kids are learning how to 3D print many different items. So that's going on. We also have a t-shirt screen t-shirt printing business as well. The kids are learning design. They're learning how to actually print. Then we have an electronics circuitry area. So they're learning everything from how to create a light switch, light bulbs, you name it, within a house. They're doing that. There's also robotics. I know, because on the floor, it always looks like someone's died and they've got tape around it.
It does.
And then we're also about to launch, we've launched it already, but we're going to be having Dream Center coffee. And we have got a roaster that is just getting hooked up right now. And we'll do a whole business side of coffee and showing kids a way out of poverty through business of, and it could be anything. We just pick coffee, but it could be any type of business model with a retail aspect. So they're just some of the things that we do. We do a lot more, but they're just some of the things that we do. And Mike, crazy question. Why do you do it?
Well, part of it is, I mean, we're commanded to give back. I mean, the Lord's very clear when he says we need to give back to those in need. That's huge. That's a guiding part of my life. Also, it's kind of a selfish reason too. Love it. It is get thanked a lot for what I do, and quite honestly, I get more out of it than the kids do. It is so rewarding to serve, and it is so rewarding to watch these young people who don't know what. I mean, We put names on all the toolbox drawers so they learn the names of the tools. We're starting at zero. Well, now they know the names of the tools, and I've got one young man who is unbelievable now. I can actually let him do a few things by himself. Say, hey, Zion, just go. You need to go do this. You know how to do it. Get the tools and go take care of this. And he can do it. And to watch the satisfaction. And then when we fire a motorcycle up they've worked on, they get so excited because they're just amazed. Something didn't work. They worked on it, learned, rebuilt it, and then it runs. So we're commanded to do it. That's very important. But also the satisfaction you get from helping folks and teaching. Love to teach. And they're such good kids. We have our challenges, but they're good kids, and we love to teach. All the instructors, we just love to teach.
I know you've shared many different stories with me about students that you work with. I know that there are some grandparents or parents that will reach out to you when the child is perhaps having struggles at school or behavioral issues, and you've become this real strong mentor to a lot of kids, which that's what we want to do, right? We want to change kids' lives, not just for work, but spiritually as well.
Right.
And I know you're heavily involved at Great Oaks Church in Germantown, which is not far from the Dream Center.
Right.
And you've been pretty instrumental in bringing the church along for the ride with you. Can you just talk a bit about that?
I don't know how instrumental I've been. I just like to visit with people about what I do because I get excited about the Dream Center and then I talk too much about it. We've got it's Great Oaks is fantastic. And our new pastor, Pastor Jake, started actually 3 years ago yesterday was his three-year anniversary, April 2nd, 2017. When he came and over, we have increased our focus on missions, and not just missions overseas, but missions locally. And he talked around a bunch of people and heard what was going on. And one of the organizations that caught his eye and caught the eye leadership team was the Dream Center. And they looked into it and found that, wow, this is really a neat organization that does so much good for students and kids. And wonderful volunteers, big volunteer organization, really invests the time and money well. It just took off from there. You just mention it to a few people and pretty soon good things happen. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And is that how you've gone in recruiting folks as well to help you? Because not all the people that you have helping you at the Dream Center, they're not going to Great Oaks Church. Right. They're people from work or relationship. Is that just how you've done it? It's just talked about the stories that you're seeing?
Talk about the stories we see and then explain to them we need about 1 hour a week. Come a little before 4, leave a little after 5. We teach 1 hour a week. It's not a big commitment. You've got the skills we need. You're going to love it. All you need to do is teach and repair a motorcycle, which you like to do. And the kids will love it, and you will too. And people are very open. If you give them a very tangible an activity, not everyone wants to lead something, an open-ended commitment, but when you give them something very specific, recruiting's been really pretty easy actually for the volunteers.
That's good. I know, you've had a lot of people from work that have got involved, and now that you're retired, you're at the Dream Center a lot.
A little more,
which is okay. We're not complaining at all. At all, we do. We love having you around, and also all the other instructors that are involved. I know you're trying to get them there even more. But what are some of the success stories you've seen? We're always trying to paint the picture to Peoria about what's going on as a city and things like that. But you are like, eyeball to eyeball with students and with parents or grandparents. Can you just share some of the things you've seen which keeps you fired up?
Sure. One of the most interesting things when I first started working there was talking to the parents. They were always a little hesitant because I'm a little different than a lot of the parents, different area where I'm from. But then when they find out I was the motorcycle guy, oh, my son or daughter's working with you. Or for two young men, they're with her grandma, and we were having some challenges with them, and I kind of talked to her a little bit. We didn't really connect yet. And then Mr. Les talked to her. He knew her. Once she saw me through Mr. Les's eyes, it changed the rest of the relationship completely. It was fantastic. So being able to utilize all the people at the Dream Center, because pretty soon you get this whole network of people and you get successes. And one of those young men, he's been a problem for a long time. He's got incredible potential, but he always kind of makes decisions. And he disappeared for a while, but one day I was unloading stuff in the car for the Hope store, and I heard this young man holler, "Hey, Mike, Mr. Mike." I said, "What are you doing here, Kirby?" He said, "Well, aren't you supposed to be in school?" I said, "Yeah, I am." "Okay, we'll talk about that later." I didn't know where else to go. I just wanted to be somewhere. We came and spent some time in class again, and he still kind of comes and goes, but I think we're going to be okay. Another young man just started working with us just the beginning of last August, and lots of challenges at home. But what a nice young man, 12 years old. Zion's unbelievable. Very articulate, unbelievably good mechanic, hard worker. Never seen such a hard worker in my life. Helpful. He has the heart of a servant. He helps everybody, helps the students, helps the other instructors if we get into a snag. I thoroughly enjoy. And the one thing we tell all the kids is, we're here now, but we're going to be here as you graduate from junior high. As you graduate from high school, get you into ICC or into college. If you're going to be an engineer or an accountant or whatever you're going to be, we'll be there walking with you to make sure we help you be successful. And they just crave knowledge and the attention, and they're great kids. I cannot say enough good about the kids we get to work with.
I know you. There was one of the things that you've got a dream about, and we're really trying to make this work, and legally is the hard thing of trying to make it work. But
right.
But it is. I mean, I do feel we are very close to it, but is in time being able to actually pay kids
right.
to do what they're doing at the Dream Center. If they're fixing a bike, or they're doing coffee and sending it out, and whatever the case may be. Tell us a bit about the things that you've seen and what you feel could break some of those cycles of poverty that you see.
Okay. One thing we see, we have great success with the junior high kids. They come up through 8th grade, we've got great attendance, and really a good relationship with the kids. When they get to high school, things change. They get older, they start becoming from young kids to young men and women, and different influences, different pressures, and they start drifting away. One potential we've got there to keep them engaged is jobs, summer jobs, weekend jobs. And we're actually even changing the motorcycle thing from restoring motorcycles to do more maintenance of motorcycles, and actually small lawnmowers now too, push lawnmowers we're starting to do.
Right.
Because we turn them over faster, it'd be a great summer or weekend jobs. We believe that if we do that, we can get them to stay more, because now they want to earn some money, for whatever reason, and we get more time with them. And if we get more time with these students and become a positive influence, this gives us even more ability to help shape their decisions and help them make better decisions than they might have made otherwise. So the jobs give us an opportunity to give more time with them. And if we get more time with them, we hope we can make some better decisions for the future and graduate from high school, maybe a community college, or even a college, to get better jobs and become very productive members of society. That's
brilliant. I know that, and like I mentioned just a moment ago, we're trying to get all the legalities sorted out on this, because you're right. And it's a bit like the thing I mentioned earlier about starting something, but then finishing. For some of these students that we're seeing, for them, it's not so much finishing something, but the reward of something.
Yes.
Right? Whether it's a huge pizza party, whether it's, hey, if we finish this, we're going to go to a baseball game, or we're going to go here, or the reward of you did X amount of hours, here's a paycheck.
Right.
I think it is so important that kids do see that this is a way out of situations that they're in, or that they've seen generationally,
Right.
are just carrying on, and they want to break that. A lot of the kids that we see don't want to carry on the way that they may have seen, in the past. And so that is a huge side to what we do.
Yes.
I know me and you have got massive dreams for this. We've even got our eye on an actual shop, a motor mechanic shop, that we are praying about how we can, raise that money to purchase that. But this isn't, I just want people to hear, this isn't like just a side hobby. Mike's retired, so now he's just going to do this on the side. We want to change kids' lives forever.
Oh, yes.
And I know Dream Center can't do it on our own. Mike can't do it on his own. But when we all come together, there's this synergy that can just change things. Mike, leave us with some thoughts on just how you would want to encourage someone to get involved with, whether it's what you're doing or the Dream Center as a whole.
Okay.
Thinking that 3.5 years ago, you had never been through our building. This was,
True.
to where now one of the major ministries that we have, one is pretty much run by volunteers, and students are coming in. Just encourage someone that may be sitting there today thinking, I could never do that.
Okay. I think the one thing I'd start with is any skill you have, we need, period. We have kids that need help with homework. We got homework help, music, poetry, photography, sports, all the job skill stuff I know a lot about. But any skill you have, we need. And there's nothing you'll do that's more rewarding. You might hear things about what the kids are like or aren't like, and if you hear things in the news, any kids that they're this, that, or the other, these are good kids. They need to have someone to respect and follow, and they do it very, very well. We have problems, sure. It's a great place to volunteer. It's very rewarding, and you'll be helping change kids' lives. And if you can change one child's life and they grow up to be a contributing adult to society, you change generations. Yeah. And that's what we hold on to. We change one or two. Even if they go away, you've spent maybe 3 years with them. That stays, and they'll come back. And that's still, you can influence kids' lives for the better. That's what we need. If we had more dream centers and more people doing this, we could really, really change what's going on in society, in the United States, in Peoria, in Illinois, whatever. We need more of this. We got people, time, and skills. Let's get to work and help the folks.
That's awesome. Well, if you are listening or watching this online and you're thinking, how can I get involved? The best way is to go to our Dream Center website, dreamcenterpeoria.org, and you'll actually see a button that'll say get involved. And you just click on the link, shoot us your name, email, brief description of what you like to do. And we have a volunteer coordinator who gets in touch with you within 24 hours and try and get you on this path of getting you signed up to get involved. We are always looking for people, not just with the after school program, but all areas of the Dream Center, but always looking for people to get involved. Obviously, right now, with the coronavirus pandemic that's going on, we have got everything halted pretty much, except for the homeless shelter that obviously we cannot shut that down. In fact, we've seen a rise in numbers coming in the last few weeks. So if you want to get involved though, volunteering, perhaps it's just during this time, you can get that application in, you can get that into us so that then when we're able to carry on ministry at 100%, you'll be ready to roll. You'll be able to connect with us very quickly. And you'll meet guys like Mike and many, many others who are involved at the Dream Center. So check out the website. And again, thank you for watching today. We are going to be throwing these out every 3 days, 4 days, just to keep you connected with what we do, what we've been doing, and what we're wanting to do in the future. So again, stay connected with us. dreamcenterpeoria.org is the best place. and also on our social medias outlets at Dream Center Peoria. And again, thanks for listening. Mike, thank you as always for everything you do for the Dream Center. We deeply appreciate it. And thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. And this was kind of fun.
Good. Well, we'll do it again. If we're still stuck in a house like in a month or two, perhaps we'll do it again. All right.
Why not?
Again, yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching, and again, stay connected to the Dream Center. Thanks.
Thanks again for listening to the Dream Center Peoria podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you know of anyone that would be interested in hearing about what we just talked about, we would encourage you to share this episode with them. Be sure to stay tuned for future episodes. Thanks.